So the Trump administration has struck a deal with UPenn. You know, the UPenn was under a federal civil rights case for violating female students' rights because of what happened with Will Thomas. Some of you may know him as Leah Thomas. And they've struck a deal with UPenn, forcing the school to strip Leah Thomas of his records, titles, and other recognitions won while competing on the women's sports team. So UPenn, this is from the administration, UPenn has signed OCR's resolution agreement to resolve its Title IX violations, which requires UPenn to undertake the following action items. And so they say they're going to restore to female athletes all individual UPenn Division I swimming records, titles, or similar recognitions. UPenn will issue a public statement to the university community stating that it will comply with Title IX. The statement will specify that UPenn will adopt biology-based definitions for the words male and female, and of course, pursuant to Title IX and consistent with President Trump's executive order. UPenn will post the statement in a prominent location on its main website and on each of its websites for women's athletics. UPenn will rescind any guidance which violated Title IX, remove or revise any internal or public-facing statements or documents that are inconsistent with Title IX. UPenn will send a personalized, Stephen, I had this. UPenn will send a personalized letter of apology to each impacted female swimmer.
Like Riley Gaines.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be eating their words on that, which is absolutely fantastic. But I got to say this, like, where are we that we are looking at this as a win, that now we're saying that a man cannot swim in women's races? I mean, it is, don't get me wrong, I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that Trump has done it. By the way, for all you people that were going to sit it out, whatever, look at what's happened. This is a big deal for us. Madness, but you know what I mean, Eric? I mean, it's a huge win, right? But I can't believe we're here touting a win that we're saying that a man cannot swim against women.
It just
sad,
shows how ridiculous things have got.
Yeah, I mean,
everything's stupid and retarded. I mean, it's just like, wow. I mean, some of the conversations that I've been having over the last 4 years, I'm like, wow, I wouldn't even thought we would have had those conversations ever. Like, even the whole, transitioning of children, like you should be in a wood chipper, right? But for some reason, there's doctors that are out there still operating, by the way, and performing these surgeries on minors. Right. And they get to walk out in public, brag about it, talk about it, and nobody wants to bare knuckle box over that. That is where the world has gone. Yeah. It is screwed up. Nothing makes sense. And this is, you might look at that, I guess to your point, it's more of a course correction kind of thing that was just, when you strip it down, take the politics and all that stuff out of it, just strip it down. Let's be logical about this. This was always stupid. A dude who's bigger than both of us. This guy's a tank, big, broad shoulders and all. William Thomas was an absolute unit. Yeah. For some reason, out of nowhere, he decided, I'm going to be a girl today. And then he went from being one of the lower ranked males to which, again, to be a Division I athlete is still, an accomplishment. Yeah. That wasn't good enough for him. He needed to be able to win.
Champion.
So ends up transitioning, right? And now all of a sudden the records can start falling. They can start getting first place in all of these events. And then we're all supposed to congratulate them and say this is uber progressive and this is great. When any rational person is looking at this whole thing unfold and saying, how did it get to this point? That nobody knocked this down and said, guys, you're all being stupid. Right. You're all being ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? This dude is not. And it would be different if this was some like tiny framed like dude, but that's not what we're dealing with. This is quite literally the South Park episode with Macho Man, competing against those chicks. Because Will Thomas, like I say, it's a big dude. William Thomas is a big dude.
We've got him there.
Yeah, right there. As you can see him right there, like he just towers over everybody. It's not a small. There's no confusion that this person has an advantage over everybody. But it got so ridiculous that now it had to get the government involved. We got to talk all this other stuff because it got so ridiculous. And now people are finally like, yeah, maybe that wasn't a good idea, that some literal dude just up and changed in a year. And it's like, one of the most ridiculous examples. The fool, this guy competed as a dude in the same college.
Yeah. And didn't go anywhere.
Didn't do shit.
Terrible. Yeah.
Didn't do anything. And I'm not knocking it. I was a Division I. I won a swimmer. I was a Division I athlete myself, right? Mm-hmm. I get it. It's an accomplishment in itself. If you get to compete at that level, that's the one level below pro, right? At least in like America's sense. Look, you accomplished a lot. That should be enough for you. Sometimes, look, there's just better athletes out there, better genetics or whatever. That's fine. It is what it is. You at least was a Division I athlete, and you can go to the grave with that. Competed as a dude. We know you competed as a dude. We can't sit up here and pretend like you never you competed in the same for the same college.
Yep.
Everything. And you didn't just come out of nowhere, right? We saw you compete as a dude, as William Thomas at the same university. And then he just up and said, just one day, and they just rolled out the red carpet for him. He's not only able to compete, he's running in these bathrooms with these chicks, making people feel uncomfortable, and everything's so ridiculous. Nobody wants to say anything because, unfortunately, there are a lot of girls, and I know you probably feel me, definitely with all the children that you have. I hate that this is being instilled in these youngsters where they feel like they have to put up with all this bull crap, and they won't say anything out of fear of being called a transphobe. So as I always worded this, these girls were willing for their sport to go in the damn tank, right? They were willing to forego all of that. They were willing to destroy the sanctity of everything that they work for with regards to their sport out of fear of being called a transphobe.
And you know
By
what?
the way, he's 6'1".
That's what I'm saying. He's bigger than me.
He ain't bigger than me, baby. So,
Okay,
you know.
well, let me all right, Matt, if you try to compete against women's swimming in the collegiate,
They would beat me.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know.
Well,
I want you to have your point.
Beating me for shit.
Well, but to Eric's point, really quickly, do you remember seeing the push off? Right, with like him being way bigger than them him being able to push. It's like he was already like half the pool ahead of them just because of that.
Well, I know this very well because my son was on the Rose Bowl aquatics team in California, and my son is 6'4". He's bigger than me, and I'm telling you, the amount of power that those guys get for that training, I mean, because they're training 2 hours in the morning, more than that in the evening. They're swimmers are very, very strong. But I do want to make this point. I said over and over, this stops when you decide it does. Yeah. It pisses me off that the government had to get involved in this. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have parents out there going, you're out of college. Like, I'm pulling my kids out because you know what? If you are going to bow to Moloch for money for a college place that doesn't mean anything. No. I mean, you're going to get beat anyway. That was every kid, every female swimmer in going ahead can forget it. It was going to destroy, as you said, it was going to destroy female sports completely. Even Serena Williams, who is the greatest female tennis player of all time, said that Andy Murray would beat her in straight sets in like 15 minutes, right? Because that is just that is the difference. So I'm saying this, it's the parents and, as you said, the athlete's fault. They should have all walked off and all the parents should have said, absolutely not. And I'll tell you this, if a dude walked into my daughter's locker room, he would be carried out of there dead.
In a body bag. Bag. And by the way, he's not joking. If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.